All right, boys, it is time to talk about Epic Games. Epic Games, it ain't looking good, man. It ain't looking good as expected. And it's for a multitude of reasons. All right. Now, it has come to our knowledge that Epic Games has officially laid off more than 1,000 employees. And according to the CEO, Tim Sweeney boy, he says we're spending significantly more than what we're making. Now, guys, where do I even begin with this one, right? Because Epic Games, we've talked about Epic Games quite a bit, right? And every single time we talk about Epic Games, I'll always get like one or two people that for some weird reason defend Epic Games, where they're like, well, why don't you want Epic Games to succeed? And it's like, it's not that I don't want Epic Games to succeed. The thing is, I wanted Epic Games to succeed, and they chose not to. They're the ones who chose not to. And you're probably asking, well, how did they choose not to? They chose not to because they thought that the way to get into gamers' wallets was by whoring themselves out, not only to the gamers, but to developers as well. They thought that by somehow, making Steam look like the devil for charging 30% when everybody else charges 30% except for them. They're the only ones that charge 15% to developers, right? But apparently Steam's the devil, right? Because it's really because they're the private company. Everybody else is public and making less money, charging 30%. Steam is private, making way more money, charging the same 30%, but for some reason, that's just not allowed. Anyway, they decided to focus on that and make Steam look like the devil for 30% when they're 15%. So that was number one. Number two, they decided to not be successful when CEO Tim Sweeney boy, the guy who right now is telling you that he's spending more money than he's making, decided to not only demonize Steam, but then also decided to say, we're not going to compete with Steam. We're not going to we're going to demand that you utilize our launcher because we're going to give you free games by whoring themselves out to developers, right? We're going to give you free games, but then we're not actually going to give you any reason to want to spend money on our store. We're not going to give you a review system that actually means anything. We're not going to give you any social features. We're not going to give you any customization features. We're not going to give you any fun features. No forums, no community, like none of that stuff. We're going to give you nothing. And then we're going to say, well, we're charging developers 15% less, so that should be enough reason why you should want to come spend money with us. It's like, you guys chose not to succeed. You guys are the reason why you are where you are. Like literally all the time. You couldn't even gift a video game. Brother, you couldn't even gift a fucking video game in 2026 up until recently, where they finally added that feature earlier this year or towards the end of last year. I don't remember exactly what it was, but you motherfuckers didn't even allow gifted games for 8 years. 8 years on your platform. Your platform's been around for 8 years. And you just now allowed gifted games. So you chose not to compete with Steam in any capacity whatsoever that was actually meaningful for the people who were utilizing your platform. And this is why I laugh, bro. I laugh at the idea that people think that PlayStation is going to launch their own store on PC. I want that to happen. I'm telling you right now, please let it happen, bro. Please let it happen so that we can see history repeat itself from more fucking morons who don't understand why Steam is successful. They just think that they can launch a fucking a store on PC and offer nothing else or the bare minimum, and that is somehow gonna steal people away from the biggest fucking store on the PC platform. I want this to happen. You guys need to let it happen again. Please let it happen again. It's amazing to see this go down. And then what makes this even worse is now Tim Sweeney is spending so much money trying to revamp the store. Right now, they're trying to revamp the store to try to be more like Steam. It's too late, brother. It's too late, bro. It is what it is. You guys have been around for 8 years and you didn't want to do anything. You wanted to do the bare minimum and you wanted to ride Fortnite into the sun because you guys are making billions of dollars a year on Fortnite. But now you don't have that option. You don't have that capability anymore. The money dries up eventually. All these collaborations on Fortnite, that shit costs money. You think putting Eminem in Fortnite was fucking cheap? Hell no, it wasn't fucking cheap. That shit costs a lot of money. And dumbass Tim Sweeney rather do a collaboration with fucking big booty Nicki Minaj versus making his store a place where people actually want to spend money. Flat out. And this is something that I've been saying for the longest time. So when people come to me and they're like, well, what do you care? It's just, you're just buying games. No, you're not just buying games. This is the fundamental misunderstanding that a lot of people that are either anti-Steam or whatever have in their mind, where they're like, well, you're just buying games. Who cares? I don't care why I buy the game. I just want to buy the game. Yeah, you say that. But the thing is, there's a lot of people out there that don't just want to buy the game. Do you guys not understand how amazing it is that I could buy a game on Steam and I could go to the community hub for that video game and I could find a forum talking about the game? I could find different people asking questions about the game. I could go to a guide section. You got user generated guides with videos, images, achievement guides. All that's for free. All that's for free. Like any fucking video game, unless it's brand spanking new, any video game, you can go into it and find all that information. You can see screenshots being shared for the game to see what the game looks like. You can see videos being shared for the game to see what the game plays like. Bro, the amount of information that is available to you as a consumer on Steam is ridiculous. You even have the badge system for crack addicts. They want to get involved in something that's meant to just take your money, right? And level up your Steam profile. If you level up your Steam profile, every level gives you 5 more friends to add to your list, right? Like all this shit is major crack. But at the end of the day, what it's doing is building a community. When you're buying on Epic Games, you're just buying a game. When you're buying on Steam, you're buying into the community. And as gay as that is to say, and as cringe as it is to say, it doesn't make it any less true. And that goes for any video game on the platform. There is tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, of video games on Steam, and every single one of them have their own little community attached to whatever that video game is. You know? So it's like, what the fuck are we doing, boys? Like, why are we still in 2026 where people don't understand that difference? You got chat rooms on Steam. You got different groups on Steam that you can join. You got curator lists you can join. All of this is literally free. And that's not even including the best part. What is Steam notorious for? Steam sales, right? Steam usually has the cheapest prices everywhere across the board, right? So right now there's a Steam sale going on where people are, I'm not even including the workshop in that. The workshop where you could do, bro, the amount of stuff you could do with Steam is fucking crazy, okay? And that is what is important for a lot of people. So I get it. I get it. I totally get it. I get it when people say that they just want a place to buy the game and they don't care where it is as long as it's the cheapest. That's fine. That's fine. There are some people that are like that. But a lot of the people that are joining Steam are realizing that it's not just about that. You know, people lose their minds when they realize you could just click a button and get a bunch of guides and get a bunch of like achievement lists and all that stuff. Like, it's crazy, man. It's fucking insane. So and I got to be real with you, even if Steam had a video game that let's say was like $5 more, $10 more versus their competitors, I'll be real with you, I'm going to buy the game on Steam. The reason why is because, number one, after a certain point, when you are part of a platform for so long, your entire library's there. I got video games from 20 fucking years ago on my library, right? After a certain point, that starts to have value. Not only that, I'd rather pay the 5-10 extra bucks to have it on Steam because I know that when I play that game, I'm going to have unlimited resources built into the actual platform that I can utilize that are community generated from people that actually played the game to help me do certain things that I may want to do, like achievement farming or whatever the case may be. Like I would have that. Or if I fucking Tiger King, do you have Zelda in your Steam library? Fuck you, man. All right, you're not ruining this for me. But no, seriously, like I think it's very important. I think it's very important. So, but at the end of the day, I do want competition, which is why I was so critical of Epic Games. I'm not critical of Epic Games because they are, how do I put it? Because they are, whatever, like, ideologically opposed for me or whatever the case. I don't care about that. I am heavily critical of Epic Games because I saw the opportunity for a company that had all the money in the world to actually compete with Steam, to really buckle down and do things that this company should have been doing from the start. Epic Games was the one company that could have competed with Steam on a real competitive level. And instead they said, nope, fuck that. We're just gonna be lazy about it. My ego won't allow it to happen, right? Tim Sweeney, he's like, yeah, nah, we don't have to do what Steam's doing in order to be successful. Bro, this guy had the audacity. I don't know if you guys remember this, but I remember this. He had the audacity to say that Steam was not going to be around in 10 years and that Epic Games was still going to be around. Epic Games Store was still going to be around and Steam was not going to be around for 10 years, brother. Bro, like seriously, this is what really? Remember when he said that? Yeah, he's absolutely fucking delusional. I was like, you really? Bro. So this is why I partially believe that Tim Sweeney's funding these lawsuits all against Steam because they're all happening at the same time, but that's a whole nother thing for a whole nother day. Anyway, yeah, I'm betting on the opposite too. Yeah, 100%. I'm betting on the opposite. So anyway, they laid off 1,000 employees and now apparently they're saying that they're spending more than they're making. You're spending more than you're making because you guys thought that if you gave it all away, that was somehow going to attract people to your business. And that's not how business works. Customers are always going to take advantage of you. You have to make them see the value in whatever you are trying to sell them, whatever you're trying to give them. People will pay money if they feel like they can get something valuable out of it. The more value perception they have of whatever you're trying to sell them, the more money they are going to give you. This is just fucking business 101. This is how it works, right? So you guys from day one said that there is no value on your platform. You guys said, don't worry about buying games on our platform because we're just going to give them for free every week anyway. When you started giving away AAA games every now and then for your platform, bro, by the time somebody finished that game, you're giving away another game. Why the fuck would I spend money on your platform? So your value went right to the fucking gutter for that reason. And then you have the other reason, which is you don't even want to provide a store that's even worth investing money into in the first place. So your value proposition was at nearly zero. And for the last 8 years, you've been fighting against that zero value proposition while Steam just shut the fuck up and continue to do the same exact thing they've done every single year. And their value proposition has just continued to go up over and over and over. It's actually pretty hilarious. And then on top of that, you then decided to say, okay, well, whoring ourselves is not making this work. Cutting the developers, cut is not making this work. How are we going to fight Steam? Oh, I know. We're going to bring console exclusivity to the PC platform because that's always worked in the past, you fucking retards. You're an idiot. Tim Sweeney, God bless your soul. You are very wealthy. Continue to keep buying land and everything that you're doing and donating it or whatever. But you're fucking retarded, bro. You're retarded. Steam got under your skin so much that your intelligence just left the room. Why would that oh my God. Why would you do exclusivity on the PC platform? You're a fucking idiot. PC players will not do exclusivity. We've proven that every single time you've tried to do this. which is why I'm so pissed at the developers behind Lords of the Fallen, because everybody's like, oh, I'm so hyped for Lords of the Fallen. Brusky, the moment I realized that it's an Epic Games exclusive, I was out. And there's a lot of people like me that are out. And it doesn't matter how many people like Atreus who are going to say, well, shit, I'm buying that no matter what. I'm going to buy that anyway. Shit. I don't give a fuck what I buy. I'm going to buy it anyway. That doesn't matter. Because Atreus is like the one out of the 1,000 plus people that are not going to do it. It's crazy, bro. Like, you guys are retarded for doing that. Retarded for doing that. And then you tried to gaslight people like, oh, well, according to Epic Games, people will buy the game if it's only available on Epic Games. And they have numbers to prove it. Where's the numbers, broski? Where's the numbers? Because there's no video game that proves that to be a fact. Even Alan Wake took a year and a half in order for it to get anywhere close to breaking even. And they're barely making any money back. And it's definitely not enough to carry a studio. And it's 100% not enough to save them. Which is why they had to cancel FBC Firebreak recently. Because they're not making the money that they could have made if they would have released Alan Wake 2 on Steam. Regardless of whatever people thought about Alan Wake 2, whether it's woke, whatever, it doesn't matter. There's no doubt about it that people would have bought it more on Steam by like a 10-to-1 ratio than they would have on Epic Games. Plain and simple. But you wanted to do the exclusivity thing, so, I mean, there goes that. So, anyway, it's unfortunate that these 1,000 employees had to now lose their job because the CEO behind their company decided to do stupid fucking business decisions throughout the 8 years that this company has been trying to run their own store. And now these people had to be laid off because apparently they're spending more money than they're making. Maybe you guys should stop doing such ridiculous collaborations with Fortnite, but let's be real. You can't do that, right? Because, well, how are you going to make the V-Bucks? This is also why they're charging more for V-Bucks. And I got to be real with you. If they're really bleeding money as much as they say they are, I'm going to make the prediction that this is not going to be the only V-Buck price raise that we're going to see. We're going to see V-Bucks go up in price again, probably by the end of this year or the beginning of next year. Because it's not going to be enough. They're going to try to milk Fortnite cash cows for as much as they possibly can, for as long as they possibly can, to subsidize whatever retarded things that they're trying to do with the store. Because it costs them over $1 billion just to give away games every year. It's a lot of money, dude. That's a lot of money. Not to mention all the royalties they have to probably pay out to all these people they did collaborations with, depending on the contract and stuff. It's just crazy, man. It's fucking crazy. So anyway, Epic Games, you guys got felted by Steam. Steam did literally nothing. This is just another example of Tim Sweeney. And, you know, he's gonna cope about it. He's going to be very upset. He's going to talk about how Gabe is terrible for taking 30%, how it's archaic that they take 30%. Meanwhile, everybody else takes 30%. PlayStation, 30%. Xbox, 30%. Steam, 30%. Epic Games, 15%. That's your own fucking fault. Maybe you should have took 30%. Maybe you should have took 30%. You know, this is the socialist mindset, right? Where they're like, hey, if we just give away everything, then no problems will be had, right? Just give it away. Just give it away to everybody. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. People will support us with that. Yeah, that's not going to happen, bro. That's not going to happen. Sorry. You gave that 15% away, and now you're realizing just how important that 15% actually is. It's unbelievable, man. Tim Sweeney, you're fucking stupid, bro. I don't know how you're a billionaire. God bless your soul, man. I can respect that. I can respect that you're a billionaire and you're retarded at the same time. That definitely takes some skill. That takes a lot of skill. So anyway.